Hey yo, Anime K-Man, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 23rd episode of Golden Kamuy, reviewing it. And I gotta say, this episode was fucking legit as fuck, I just gotta say. It has like everything in my checklist that I require when reviewing an episode. You made great story progression because you have Sugimoto get into contact, well, not like speaking contact, but he finally sees Noperambo at the end of the episode. You get to see Ashirpa escape from Hijikata's clutches at the end of the episode because you see her with like Shirashi, Tanigaki, Incarnate, and now the whole crew except for Agata at the end of the episode. So you make a lot of plot progression for a single episode. So from that standpoint, it's perfect. You get character development because you get Tanigaki and the Incarnate bonding even more. You can tell that Incarnate was hella wet on the inside when Tanigaki lifted this like thing on her body up that she was trapped in, and that you can hella tell she loved Tanigaki even more after that. And then when Tanigaki's shirt, the buttons in his shirt ripped up, it just made that scene much more manly. So yeah, it was also great from a character standpoint. You got character development for Tanigaki and Incarnate because they care more about each other. You get a bit more characterization for Ushiyama because he went to the trouble to save the Incarnate and Tanigaki. So that was also nice. Him coming clutch as always. And simultaneously, it was also nice to see in this episode that you have Sugimoto just continue caring about Ashirpa and pretty much valuing the well-being of Ashirpa and his former buddy's wife. He values Ashirpa more than himself, Sugimoto, and his friend's wife. So that's also another plus about this episode. You can hell tell at this point, at least currently in Sugimoto's life, the most precious thing to him is like Ashirpa right now, which further helps make that brother little sis dynamic feel much more intense and legit, and I love that too. Just makes the interactions much more endearing. So that's another positive about this episode. So from a character standpoint, it was also perfection reincarnated. The animation, while it had a lot of still shots, at least for some of the scenes, it worked. Like in the scenes where Sugimoto got like this knife towards his cheek, it looked good and it popped because of the artwork was pretty good. And then the scenes like where his foot was shot and it grazed his leg a bit, but it still got a bit of his skin, also looked intense because of the artwork. So the art team did a great job. And then while the animation had a few still shots here and there were still a few scenes where the animation worked. Like when this dude was coughing blood, that shit looked intense. I was like, whoa. So at the very least, for some of the major scenes, the animation worked, even though it didn't work in all scenes. So that's another positive. And then I gotta say, this episode also made itself intense by increasing the tension level by having all the prisoners break out when all is hopeless. So that's another cool thing going for it too. So, while it wasn't perfect from an animation standpoint, because everything else is so fucking great, I'm not gonna dock off points in this episode because of that. And then furthermore, the art, it was fucking perfect. There was nothing off model, and that's really a great thing about Golden Kamuy. Even though it doesn't have perfection from the animation department all the time, the art is always on fucking point. And then the soundtrack was pretty great because it even had a few OSTs that were intense. So that was another positive going for the episode. And then aside from that, all the cast, I don't even need to talk about the cast. They do a great job every episode. Going into a Golden Kamuy episode, I'm not wondering, man, is the voice cast going to do a good job? They always bring their A game every single episode. It's always the animation team I'm always in doubt in, but even in this episode, they did a fine job. So, taking all these things into consideration, I'm going to rate this episode a brand spanking 10 out of 10. You just can't ask for more from these types of episodes, and it gets me pumped up for next week's finale. It looks like we're going to have a series finale, a happy ending, and I can't wait. So anyways, guys and gals, these are my thoughts on the episode. Comment down your thoughts on the episode below. And, yeah. I mean, at least it looks like a serious finale. I don't read the manga, so I don't know. Alright, guys and gals. Have a great and safe day. And I'll see you guys later if you subscribe for more. Bye-byes.